What if you treated your life like a scientist treats reality? The world might become more alive. You might start seeing your life as something you can explore and play with, not something you have to control all the time. You'll realize how much is available to you if you simply stop assuming you know and start observing the mystery around you. Instead of searching for answers, you might just begin savoring the questions. Life can become a living lab, and you can become the scientist, the experimenter. Every choice in your life becomes a variable you can test, not a commitment that you're stuck with. The moment you get truly curious about life, you'll see your reality expanding. You realize there's always something new to discover. Today, we are going to explore together the power of curiosity, just to see what happens. There are many benefits to facing life like a scientist, like a curious being. Curiosity has the power of bringing you into the present moment. You stop running on autopilot and start actually observing your life. Everything becomes more enjoyable, even the boring parts, because you are paying attention. Because of that, you can actually see the progress. You are present with it. I believe curiosity is a sort of liberation. It removes all the layers of judgment, control, and adds the sense of wonder and fascination. It makes life way more enjoyable, less dramatic, attached, and more intentional. When you are curious, nothing in your life feels final, fixed, harsh. You realize you don't need to fix people, the world, or even yourself. You just have to explore, observe, learn, and test, maybe. I personally feel like once I become more curious, life opens, it softens, it expands. Even the hard challenges of life feel less personal. Not, why is this happening to me? More like, why is this happening to me? For me especially, I feel like curiosity lowers my guard. I stop bracing for life and I become more open to it. Why am I so sure about this? Because my life was built through experiments and curiosity. I lived in 9 different cities, worked across multiple industries. I built businesses in completely different worlds, from e-commerces to self-care products, from planting trees in the Amazon forest to building apps. I led a community of entrepreneurs. I managed musical artists. I even created a music label. And every time, the pattern was the same. I was experimenting. I was following what made me curious. I was allowing life to show me the path. When I look back, my entire career feels like one long research project. Testing ideas, exploring the different identities I could have, observing how people and reality responds to that. Every chapter in my life taught me something about who I am, who I can be, and who I'm meant to be. That's why I believe curiosity isn't just a mindset, something you think about. It's a way of moving through the world, actually experiencing and taking action through curiosity. Yeah. Curiosity is also a deep spiritual practice for me. It has the power to flexibilize or maybe dissolve the ego. Because ego wants certainty, it wants fixed identity. Curiosity wants to experience. It loosens our grip on who we think we are, on what we think the world is. It lets us step into experience, into openness, and out of this rigid identity, even if just for a moment. I also feel like curiosity plays a big role in non-resistance. When I'm in a curious state, I stop fighting the moment, trying to control things around me. I've become more receptive, less defensive. It feels like energy can actually flow through me. And it's a beautiful experience. Curiosity also helps me with trust. Trusting that the exploration, the observation leads me somewhere meaningful. That there might be a reason behind all of this. It makes me trust in the next step of my life, even when the path isn't clear. I'm attentive to it. I am curious. What could happen? It makes me more open to allowing life to surprise me through all its mysteries. And of course, curiosity is a deep practice of presence. It helps you anchor yourself into the present moment, because in order to be curious and experimenting with life, you must be attentive. But beyond being a spiritual practice or experience, curiosity can also be fun. Have you ever heard that quote that says, "The more you fuck around, the more you find out"? I believe this is so true because progress comes from trying new things. And curiosity leads you to that. It's what actually moves your life forward. It puts you out of your comfort zone. It makes you open. It gives you the gas, the motivation to try something new. Curiosity is a fun way to question your choices, your habits, your patterns, in order to flow into your goals, your evolution. Exploring different paths in life gives you something powerful. Clarity. This is something you can't really think your way into. You have to take action. But you can make it fun. That's it. You can have fun trying the new things. You can observe how it works and adjust. I believe that progress in my life is a side effect of staying open to life. The confusion we feel sometimes because we don't know what to do, we don't know what could happen, because in fact we don't know, loosens with curiosity. Instead of direction, we're simply seeking movement. Movement that feels right, that feels good, that feels aligned. I tell this to my friends, people I love around me. Try, experiment. Because the more you do that, the more you will discover who you are, what you want, what you love. we tend to think that if we just think enough, we might figure out the answers to our life. But it's not the way. Self-knowledge, self-awareness is just a byproduct of exploration, of putting yourself out there, not overthinking in your bed. And trust me, I tried that and it didn't work. Curiosity helps you learn what energizes you, what drains you, what motivates you, what stops you. Every discovery you make gives you more power over your own life. But there's one strict rule that I want you to follow. You must keep it fun. It has to be an experiment. It has to be interesting, as if you were a child. Let's talk about childlike curiosity and the sense of wonder. I remember clearly when I was a kid, and maybe you too, probably you too, we learned by experimenting, by trying new things, sometimes getting hurt, sometimes getting yelled at by our parents, but not by planning or trying to predict. We would just do it. We tried the different things without overthinking. It's gonna work, it's not gonna work. We just move with our feelings. When I was a kid, I would make stuff, test different ideas, make some messes. I would build things, break things. I remember the sense of joy of simply exploring with no goal in mind, with no clear direction, simply for the sake of experiencing life. When we were kids, curiosity came naturally. Nothing felt wrong to try. There was no pressure when we were playing and experimenting and testing to be good at things. We didn't have a fear of failing. The point was to do it just to see what would happen. I remember how fun the exploration felt, how simple, how easy and light. Everything in my life when I was a kid and as I carried that same feeling felt like an experiment. I felt like I was this mad scientist and my life was my lab. And that's exactly the energy I want you to bring into this. There is a practice that I simply love, which is documenting, journaling, taking notes. I think this is such a precious practice, something you will never regret doing. A journal, voice notes, memos, something, writing things down. This will help you see yourself more clearly, because without having something to look back to, without documentation, life can feel more vague. When you have things written down or documented, you have evidence of who you are becoming, of the lessons you learned in your journey, of the beautiful moments you experienced and how they shaped you. And because you see yourself in the past, maybe struggling through something, you start to treat yourself with more compassion, more care. So this is definitely something I recommend so much. If you don't do it yet, try. In my life, I had a lot of journals or just notebooks. I would write thoughts I was having or describe experiences. Maybe would dive deep into a challenge I was facing to understand the different sides. Or just at some points write about my day. Sometimes I would describe my dream life and see as time passes how it would change, because we are constantly changing. At some point I started doing video journals, even here on photo booth, and it feels amazing to look back to myself opening up and sharing my thoughts, my fears, and having the sense of compassion and empathy. When I see that, I look at myself now in the present in the mirror, and it reflects. I see how much I deserve that care and compassion right now also. So please, if you don't, try, just to see what happens. But anyway, what does it mean to face your life like a scientist? You start observing yourself instead of reacting. You start questioning your own patterns and assumptions about life. You try things in small doses, like micro experiments. You pay attention to the causes and effects in your life, how they play. You start observing what motivates you, what triggers you. You use your emotions and your habits as data, as information, not as your fixed identity. You adjust your life based on what actually works for you, not what you think should work or what someone else said you should do. It gives you more agency, more power. And this is the philosophy behind this channel. This is the intention I put into the videos I create. I want you to be more curious with life. I want you to explore more, to be more open, to be testing, experimenting more. So now, it's time to put this into practice. As I dove deeper into curiosity and into my own life experiences with this, I decided to create some kind of structured method to apply even more in my life. A method shaped by the actual scientific method, but more towards action experiments that bring results to my life. I tried with things that I wanted to see improvement, with areas I needed to work on, but also with things I wanted to explore just for fun. I wanted to explore consistently and actually observe if it made a change in my life or not. And it's been wonderful to test different things and have the documentation and be able to look back and adjust accordingly. It's been so much fun. I decided to share with friends and now with you. I'm planning to start a guided curiosity experiment for us. First, to apply this curiosity scientific method, which I carefully created and tested, and now I want to do it with our community. I see so many of you are just as curious, or maybe even more curious than me, posing these wonderful questions in the videos or bringing more and more information to add to all of this. So I believe it's time for us to have a space for our community where we can connect and talk more. I had emails, comments, and messages on my Instagram asking me to create a Patreon. So that's how we're going to kick it off, with this curiosity challenge. Because it's so much more fun to do it with other people. Remember when you were a kid and you would explore and do all those tests and make things by yourself? It was already a lot of fun. But when you had friends around and people to share it with, even running to your parents and tell them, look what I found out, it made the experience much more joyful because we are social creatures. So I want to share this with you, and I want you to share with each other and with me, for us to celebrate each other's process and also as a sense of devotion with our community. YouTube will be a place for conversations and debates and philosophy, talking and thinking about things. But as you know, in every video I talk about action. So Patreon will be the space for practice, where the themes we explore here will become action points and small challenges. So if you want to try this with me, the doors to our Patreon will be opening very soon, and the first people to join will get a special bonus. So don't forget to activate the notifications for the channel, and I'm very excited to connect with you all there. Something else I wanted to tell you is that we are getting close to hitting 10K, and when we do that, I'll do a live stream here on YouTube, because I get a lot of comments saying that I am AI. So to clear that up, I'll do this live stream, and also to connect with you and answer questions or whatever comes up in that moment. I'll let you guys know through the post here on YouTube. And yeah, stay tuned and stay curious, because nothing is ever as it seems, as Rumi once said. If you enjoyed this video, this idea of curiosity, of facing your life like a scientist, please send it to a friend, and don't forget to subscribe. I will see you soon.